Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Heya. Today I'm going to take you through some books that I hope I can get to and finish before the end of the year. They're recent additions to my shelves and I really hope that I can read them very soon because I'm so excited about them. So let's talk through them. Let's share books that we want to finish before the end of 2022. How are we in November? I have no idea. As we go through this, please let me know what are some books that you are trying to get to or ones that you're currently reading and that you want to finish before the end of the year. I would love to know. And without further ado, let's get straight into the books. First, I'll talk to you about the books that I'm currently reading at the moment. The first one is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I absolutely love Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing. She crafts characters that are flawed, but yet so likable and have so much depth and feel so real. I think that's what makes her books so easy to devour. I just love anything she writes, really. And so Daisy Jones and the Six is about a fictional band, it's not a real band, set in the 60s or late 60s, 70s in LA. And the band breaks up and no one knows why. So many years later, there's this interview series that's done with them to figure out what actually happened. Why did they break up? So that's the whole story. It's written in an interview format. And so that's why with the audiobook, it's such a great performance. It's a full cast of voice actors and it actually reads or sounds like real interviews with the way that they laugh, the way that they speak. It sounds like these people are actually being interviewed and talking about their life. It doesn't sound like a narration at all. And it's very entertaining. I'm intrigued by it so far. I'm interested in where it's going. I like all of the characters. There's nothing overly complex going on. It's not very heavily plot driven. But I'm intrigued and I'm excited about it. And I'm reading it with my friend Olga. It's a buddy read. We're each listening to it on audio. And I'm so excited to finish it. The next one is called When We Were Sisters by Fatima Asghar. This one's also one that I'm reading with a group of my friends as part of a book club. This is about three sisters of Pakistani descent in America. They tragically lose their parents and they become orphans and their uncle takes them in. So this story is about their intense bonds as siblings, them grappling with their identity, coming of age, gender, all in America as part of their experience as Muslims in America of Pakistani descent. So it's really intriguing the way that it's written. It's very simple writing, but it draws you in. The chapters are so short, especially for literary fiction. And I'm completely captivated. So those are the only books that I have going right now. And after them, these are the books that I really want to get to. The first one is A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles. It's set in 1922 and the Bolsheviks have just taken power of the newly formed Soviet Union. We're following an aristocrat named Count Alexander Rostov. And I'm just going to read you the description. Rostov, an indomitable man of erudition and wit, has never worked a day in his life and must now live in an attic room while some of the most tumultuous decades in Russian history are unfolding outside the hotel's doors. Unexpectedly, his reduced circumstances provide him a doorway into a much larger world of emotional discovery. Brimming with humor, a glittering cast of characters, and one beautifully rendered scene after another, the singular novel casts a spell as it relates the Count's endeavor to gain a deeper understanding of what it means to be a man of purpose. I love stories about relationships, about deep, really interesting, complex characters, and I love reading about this period in time in history. So cannot wait to get to this one, and I'm also going to read this with my friend Olga. The next book I really want to get to is Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, and it is translated by Jeffrey Trusolo. This is Japanese literature, and I've heard the best things about this book, and I cannot wait to get to it. What I'm discovering I love about Japanese literature is the simplicity in the writing, but also the deep, powerful message behind it. And I'm just in awe of how these translators are able to preserve that and still give us the full profound meaning. So this book is about a cafe that's set in Tokyo that allows customers to travel back in time to go back to a specific moment that they want to revisit or to see a person that they want to see or maybe even meet for the first time. But they have to sit in a specific seat in the cafe and they can only be back in the past while the coffee's warm. So they have to be back before the coffee gets cold. From what I can tell, this is going to be very emotional, very heartfelt. We have time travel, we have cafe, we have coffee. I think it's perfect for this time of the year. The next book I want to get to is Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. I'm so excited about this because I love a good murder mystery, and I hear that this one does not disappoint. Sorry, also, actually, can we just look at this cover? It is absolutely gorgeous. And can you see the waves there? How they kind of shimmer? That's gorgeous. I love this cover. So let me tell you what this is about. I'm gonna read you the cover. Daisy Darker's family were as dark can be. When one of them died, all of them lied and pretended not to see. Daisy Darker is arriving at her grandmother's house for her 80th birthday. It's Halloween, and Seaglass, the crumbling Cornish house perched upon its own tiny private island, is at one with the granite rocks it sits on. The Darker family haven't all been in the same place for over a decade, and when the tide comes in, they'll be cut off from the rest of the world for 8 hours. When the tide goes back, nothing will be the same again because one of them is a killer. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm getting the guest list vibes, which I loved. I can't wait. The next one I really want to read is My Policeman by Bethan Roberts. See here on the front, it says soon to be a major film. It's already out, so I'm behind. I need to read this so that I can watch the movie, which has Harry Styles in it, and I'm very excited about that. This I'm anticipating is going to be a really devastating read. It's set in the 1950s in Brighton, and we're following Marion, who first meets Tom. They get along really well, and it says she's determined her love will be enough for the both of them. Years later, Tom meets Patrick, and Patrick is besotted with Tom. And essentially, the two lovers must share him until one of them breaks and 3 lives are destroyed. It sounds very sad, and I really want to get to this one. If the lighting has changed, it's because my camera battery ran out, but we're back now. The next book I really want to read is Shoko's Smile by Choi Eun-young, translated by Sung Ryu. I'm so excited about this one. This is translated from Korean. So this is a collection of short stories set from female perspective. So it's all about the female experience in South Korea, and I'm so excited to learn about this. It's, from what I could tell on the back, it's about relationships, family, politics, history. This will be such a cultural experience. The next book I hope I can get to is Bitter Orange Tree by Jocha Al-Harthi, translated by Marilyn Booth. So I believe this was translated from Arabic. And this is a book pick from the Adabiyat book club run by the lovely Lena and Sara. I will put down a link below their book club if you're interested. It focuses on Middle East Arabic translated literature, if that's something that you're interested in. I'm very intrigued because personally I'm Palestinian and I grew up in Kuwait, so getting to explore the literature in that world is something that's very exciting and I'd love to do more of. I believe this is an Omani author who writes about the experience of leaving her home and reestablishing herself in the UK. And on a personal level, that sounds so interesting and relatable because I moved to the US and then moved to the UK, and I'm based in Edinburgh now, and I'm just very interested to learn about someone else's life, and maybe there will be parallels. I'm super interested, and it sounds really great, and it's a super short one as well. The next book is The Humans by Matt Haig. If you haven't come across Matt Haig and his writing, so Matt Haig focuses so much of his work on anxiety and depression and how our world can feed these experiences. So he focuses a lot on mental health, and his writing is so observant and simple, but very poignant and bold and insightful. And so with this book, I hear such great things. It's written from the perspective of an alien who lands on Earth and is on a mission to derail humanity's mathematical discoveries. So there's this professor based in Cambridge. He's a mathematician and made a mathematical discovery. And so this alien is on a mission to make sure that humanity doesn't continue to progress in that, because it, I suppose, puts the aliens at risk. And so he comes on Earth and takes form of this professor. And it's all about him telling aliens his observations of humanity and how he's so disgusted by how we eat, or his observations on love and human emotions and human interactions. So I'm really excited to see where it goes. I feel like in general, Matt Haig's observations and writing are so reflective and perfect for December as we're wrapping up an end of a year and just reflecting on it and preparing for the next one. The next book I want to read is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. This sounds like a sweet romedy, a nice rom-com, and I definitely need those sprinkled out throughout the year. I find them very fun, very uplifting. I love the romance genre, and this sounds like the perfect one. So apparently this is about Alexis, and she is training to be a surgeon. So she's a doctor, and she meets Daniel, who's 10 years younger and very, very different to her background. He's not from the city like she is. He has a very different profession, very different social circle. And they come from very different worlds, and her sort of reconciling how can she make that work and whether she can make that work. It sounds very cute, very sweet, very reflective as well, and I think perfect for the end of the year. So those were all the books, my friends. Those were all the books that I hope that I can get to before the end of the year. I don't know if I will. I'm gonna give it a go. Let's see. I'm also a mood reader. Sometimes my mood sways me in a different direction. I don't know, we're just gonna go with it. We'll see how it goes. Are you the same? Are you a mood reader? Let me know down below. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one.